Okay, so you tell me how do we refactor this shit?
Let's do it.
Okay. No, no, we can do some stuff like that.
I want to play.
Stop with your freaking player card. Refactor that. Tell me how to refactor this stuff.
Make it 25 and then remove it.
Do not push me, I will do it. I'm waiting for you, man.
No, this guy is dangerous.
One
What
step
do you
at a
want to
time.
do with player card?
Keep the score in the player.
Yeah, this guy wants to play a class, I just like following. Then what do you want there? Score?
Excuse me, why are you introducing a...
You
There is no
want
test.
I have seen no test.
Where are the tests for this?
How are you going to introduce a test without having a class without a test?
I am not.
You only need faster behavior.
Okay, let's refactor the code.
Yeah, if you do not need it, don't do it. That's the purpose of
Okay, go back to the
the shit. So we should, I think, refactor some stuff.
So,
Okay,
if
you
you...
can have an array with the scores.
No, what you can do is, if you have...
Here you write something like
Ask for player 1.
score
What?
40. If you do that, it should like break the test somehow.
In the test you could write tennis
Yes.
player 1
Oh,
score.
yeah.
That's the place where you break the test.
Yes.
You can break this one. Like,
Yes, so do it.
you can like
Or you can get
player
the
one.
No, tennis player 1
Tennis
score.
Ah.
That's...
Yes. Exactly, now we break the test.
Yep.
That should be in the other way. Tennis player score equals 0.
No, okay.
To have the proper message.
yes. Well,
Equals 0.
Run the test, will it be green? What do you think? Oh,
It's bad.
that's amazing. So let's create it. On tennis, player 1.
Yes.
players.
Accessing, players.
accessing.
So what do I put it there?
There you wanted to create this player.
So each time you call it, you create a new one?
No.
It's okay.
Lazy create?
Not need
We
lazy
can
creation.
do one for
Yes.
lazy frame.
Okay, run the test. Restart.
That's a matter of
Oh,
style.
still doesn't work.
Yeah.
Creation.
Because score doesn't exist.
Yes. We should
No, because Neil doesn't exist.
It's nil.
Player 1 is
So
Neil.
we need a class.
What happened? Where did I
You clicked next to the window.
Yeah.
How can it be since it's full screen?
Push that one then.
Might be a good time to save before we start. Changing all this stuff.
Actually, good idea.
Okay, then create a player.
Player Neil.
Okay, then we need the class. Player class.
We need to initialize player
Initialize
1 in
it, yeah.
tennis.
Yeah, how?
Small talk of confidence in their rules. Save. Yes.
Okay.
Then
Small talk is
dare
great.
you to tell
Let's
me
save.
that each time you change something in Eclipse, you don't save your file? Can you do that? New class, player, blah blah, Neil. Nothing needed. We don't do it. Run the test.
Yes. Still bad.
Not working. The score doesn't exist. But
Okay.
that session.
Return score.
No, a value. Come.
Value.
You want 0, you get 0.
One way to have less duplication right now is to have the tennis game that the user, the player knows the tennis game and he has
We agree.
one score, and we will use the behavior we had before.
Ah yeah, because we only so.
Yes.
That's green. Move to player.
Yeah, and then we just move the method. So
You run the
first
method.
we call the old behavior
Yeah,
and then
Well, yeah, that's...
Then go.
This
Go no. Go to the yeah.
Ah, that's
Where
the second
to?
one. Oh, sure. Tennis player to score.
That's again the other way.
Yeah, but that you do not really care. Just
wait, run all the tests.
I just did.
Yes.
Just before.
Yeah. You should
Yes.
follow
Ah,
me.
you follow
Everything
me.
still
Okay,
works.
yes.
So you're not following, you're complaining, it's like,
Okay, create.
you know? Player,
Yes. Return player to player.
Estimate.
Player.
One player, one S. Yes.
I don't know.
Good. Hurt my brain.
The next.
Next.
Or the other escape.
Okay, time to start them.
Okay. You only changed in one class, so we probably want to change it to more than one.
Okay, so do the same.
Now it needs to be better.
Yeah, change the order.
That was short.
Okay. Let's do stars. Okay, so these are good. So change another class. This one, for example, single factoring.
Setup, do I do something?
Setup. We didn't do something in the other one. No, just change the asset. So tennis player 1 score.
Tennis, player 1.
Space score. Okay. And okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's still 0. So here it will fail because it's implemented as. Okay. Okay. So here he got 0 instead of 15. So in score class, in the player class, sorry.
Player class.
Yeah. So score here.
We already implemented this, we should just copy paste from tennis, because tennis
No,
already has
that's
almost
codification,
just-
codification.
No, then we're gonna, when we plug this in, it's all gonna go.
Yeah, so for design.
Well, the other thing to avoid the code duplication is to say tennis player 1 score.
Yeah.
We don't care about code duplication, then you refactor.
Well, why not?
Yes, I mean we can go.
Okay,
This is
another
a good
iteration.
practice fail. We have this.
Yeah, but
It's
Yes.
under point four.
okay, there are two
Yeah,
different.
we don't
No,
care
no.
for now.
Okay.
Because else we will break the other test.
So what?
You return score. Score instance variable. Yeah. Say.
No,
just
this is
for-
Just
Yeah.
accessor.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you need to initialize it.
Yes. Check. So,
Initialize.
yes. Score equals 0.
Super initialize.
Super initialize.
The rule of God.
Always super.
Always super.
Yeah.
Because it's later once you move the class.
Okay. So now
The
the
chain
test.
hierarchy.
Let's go
The
here.
collection is already there.
Yeah, so
Otherwise
now
spend some time
it
to
won't
figure
change
out
anything
what's
on the
going
test, so
on.
you can run them, you will have the same failure. And what you do is in tennis, when you say player 1 score,
But we don't have this method anymore.
no, it's
We just set player 1.
No, point
No,
4.
no.
It's point.
it's
Point for
point 4.
player 1.
Okay,
There, there.
so here what you do is that you say player 1 score. You know leave this line.
But this
not
one is for
breaking-
changing the player 2. Be careful.
Yeah.
Player 2. What the heck is this?
Okay, never mind. So here you let this code, but you just add player 1 score.
Put a meta link to the assignment.
No, wait a minute, this is,
But
this
No,
is
it's not-
winning, it's player 1 win point. Or
Oh
something
yeah,
like
win point. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the accessor score.
that. And then you have to
Win
move all
point.
that logic
Win
into-
point or
into win point.
Score 1 point.
score win point. Okay. So now,
Done.
okay, you take this code.
No,
You
you're
copy
done.
this code.
Done.
No, not the last line.
Run test.
Run test.
Yeah. Okay.
No, you're not okay.
Yeah, but
That's not okay.
yeah, but there is a point where you must break something
Now.
to.
Not good.
Yeah,
So,
the game
listen,
is to find
yeah, okay,
the-
create the method.
No,
Uh,
now
define
no,
object.
let's
It's not
undo
initialized.
one.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
now,
initialized.
Alright, so
when
comment that
when
one
you're there
out.
to undo what you just done.
Just comment that one
What?
out, because we're gonna
Yeah.
put it right back in.
Oh,
Because that's this is not the right way.
okay, so
It's a
save,
bad path.
run the test.
test.
Backtracking.
Yes.
So when you have more than
Okay.
one test failing,
Yes,
you undo.
you undo.
Always.
Yes.
So
Because
you,
that's the
fir-
game.
you first fix the test.
Leave
and
it
then-
there, comment it out, because
Yes, you
you know
search
you're
for
gonna do
another
it again.
path.
Okay, so another path. We
And then just implement the method before we
What do
go.
you want to do? So this is a fail.
Damien.
Ah, Damien.
And you're next.
5 minutes.
so here we go to here.
Wait forever, man.
Once you go, then the suffering is over.
Okay, and what's it say in the test player to score? And it's what?
For now, score return 0.
I don't know, it's not implemented somewhere.
See, score. Okay. It's initialized to 0.
So how is implemented the points point for player 2?
Point for player 2.
It's in the test.
And
we're
that is
probably
in
still
tennis.
following.
Okay.
That is in tennis,
So
not in player.
there we have to just add a line below and
Tell what you want to happen with that player to work.
Okay.
and get the player 2 and tell him that he got a new point.
Score 1 point.
The players lazily initialized.
Okay.
There is
The player is initialized.
It's lazy initialized, so
Ah. Okay.
So
You may want to implement that. That's
Yes.
okay.
That's why I went.
Yes.
yeah, but there was more than one test failing.
And I went back, so. Score 1 point. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe copy paste the logic from the
Paste.
If I hear copy paste,
But
Yeah,
copy
the-
paste
the
the
other
other
one
one
was
because it was
more
more complete.
It was refactored.
What the player wants.
this Kata reflex.
The 15, 30, 40 it was refactored. For player 1. Okay. So you should have copied the other one.
The other one. Okay.
Yeah, the other one was more complete.
Actually, there was a comment with player 1 score 1 point.
Oh, there was no smart suggestion yet. I want to rename it.
It's not going to help you fix all the tests.
Okay.
Yeah, it was only complaining that the method didn't exist, so now it exists.
Yeah.
So
But
Yeah.
Now,
there is
same error in the test.
Yeah, because
there
now
is
we
the
still
method
have to
is
Tell the
broken,
players.
Ah, yeah.
still
So,
broken.
Yeah.
So,
set player.
Should be green before doing
Yes.
this refactory.
Yeah.
player 2 score 1 point.
That looks reasonable.
Okay. So now.
Hey.
So now you would do that for player 1 because that's going to be a pain.
You can master it.
Okay.
Fix it.
What's the test?
I have. That's not correct. You're changing code which is not refactoring while you don't have a red test. What's happening there?
What? He's doing bullshit now.
I should let you talk.
Yeah, but
You
not
do
in
something-
the same order. So go
So,
to the test. change the
I go
test.
to the test, I change the test. Which test? This one?
Which one did we just change before?
we change this one and this one and this one and this one. So we go here.
Is everything green now? Because I
Yes.
Yes, everything
It's
is
everything
green.
green.
No, it's a problem of history that
okay.
Yeah.
it's
Now
as
deal
you need
with,
bugs in history.
Okay, so there is a problem that the equals and the assert are all or not all in the right order?
Yes.
Yes.
That would be a good refactoring to just systematically have the order correct.
But,
That's right,
It
it's
would be better to do tennis player 1 score. Yes.
So this is
So,
Okay.
do this,
Ah,
don't
so
borrow.
There's a
So okay, we have 0,
Yes, right.
15. So now
Always the tendency to do, okay, there is this little thing to do there.
Okay.
Oh, this is good to do once in a while.
Yes.
Oh, it's not initialized.
So player 1.
It's
Yes. Yes,
No,
you
it's-
go.
If you're happy,
I think we are.
Yes, you go.
Then we continue.
Il va falloir avoir du verre. Hein.
Yeah.
Il va devoir avoir du verre.
À la fin, ouais. Ah, c'est les initialize.
Just one
how
thing.
much time do we have still?
Minus
10 minutes or 15 minutes.
Okay, good. Yeah.
It's a coffee break. But one thing that annoyed me when in the test is that we introduce a violation of the law of the meta.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we just
What do you want to do about that, or what would you suggest?
no,
would be a
what
possibility?
the nice thing about stage-driven development is that at the beginning we define an API for themselves.
We should
skip
stick
it.
with it.
Yes.
We should stick with
Which
it.
is and just change
The implementation.
Yeah,
so we can refactor now. Or
okay, that's but
Player
let's
1
go on.
score should be.
We know that and
Coffee? So there is a
I think we'll do it for 10 minutes and then do the retrospective about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So just talk through this one and another one and
No, actually, it's the history that is broken. It's green on the test runner.
You have to click on one of the buttons to reactualize it.
Actually, we could
It's
change
just-
this one there.
Talk a bit louder about what you're trying to do.
So I'm still not supposed to talk there.
Well, you
Oh,
yes, you can talk. We cannot talk. You can talk.
Okay. So I was proposing that we could change this accessor to the new player system. So that should be something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Skip the egg.
Yes, it's a small change.
And if it also does not work, why?
Self.
Let's finish like.
Itself.
You have to fix all the tests to be the same.
This is very
Okay.
enable.
Otherwise you're gonna
I
have
have
Ta-da.
to not to introduce access now, unless I really need them.
Who fixed the
So-
test? The bigger one. 30 instead of 40.
Let's take a look at the implementation of score.
This is
Point for player 1.
point for player 1.
of pay one score. No, the implementation of pay yes.
So what?
Pay one score. No,
Or set
no,
implemented.
it's point for pay one.
Yeah. We have to change this also.
Because it's implemented in the player side. So
Yeah.
Okay.
And
no, but it's already implemented in.
And it's not.
It's already implemented in the
the
score
player,
1.
Yes.
So
don't change that.
don't change it.
No, but
Problem is everywhere.
it needs a self. It needs a self.
No, this don't
No.
self. Let's
No, there is instance variables in it.
take a look at what happens with
Go
score
to
1
the
point.
debugger again.
Yeah.
It's a mix of coding styles together. Initialization and reverse initialize.
Then
I
it's
think
player
we'd
1
be
score.
better off restarting the debugger and just debugging all the way through to see.
Yes.
It's kind of a complicated.
Okay.
I restart the context on the button and then just step into it.
Step into point for player 1. Yeah.
Okay.
So we can go
You don't care
through.
about that.
So we can go through. The important part is score 1 point.
Score is how much is
0. So it should the first time it should end up 15. Ah yes, go back. It is a return. There is a return. It is if true return there. You should remove it.
What? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Make it 25 and no return.
Remove the return there.
And it needs to be 25, otherwise you will break all the tests.
or put an if false.
Player
They are-
player 1 square needs to be.
We don't care
Yeah,
because there
false.
is no
We're gonna
return.
get
So
rid
it's
of it
meaning
anyway, so.
continue.
actually that
No,
code
because
is
then you break the other tests.
if false.
No, you just put the change the order of the lines. The last time you put it on top.
Yes.
You just
That's okay.
cancel. Version.
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
Continue. Proceed.
Right again.
Yes.
We got the same.
Because recover last turn is not so good.
Yes.
I don't get it.
Actually, if it would be a shortcut, you should be all the time doing Ctrl Shift S to save the after every change.
Okay, okay, get it.
No, but then
Yes.
Now get it.
so the problem is that we have the wrong tool.
This one.
I mean, no,
Do you have
it's
it?
not so good. The recover last turn.
Play it.
Yes.
We don't have code.
This we should not have to mention as well.
Let's see.
Why?
Because the player
But
goes
player to score.
Yeah.
No, the method player to score.
And
just
just stop.
There should be
Stop.
score of players.
Oh, you just. And
next.
We do break or not?
No, another one. Another
maybe
one.
another one, or we make a retrospective because some people.
But he didn't code.
How much time do we have?
I haven't code.
Huh?
I haven't code.
And then got so code
And
and someone wants to go. You want to go?
Ah, yeah, why not?
Okay. Yeah, tell me.
It's the last
I
one.
don't know what mess you made, but we'll see. So you have to tell.
Yes.
We are.
Yeah,
So refactoring
I saw that. Yeah, I saw this refactoring. So you need here the self player
So
too.
like
Yeah, like that. So. Yeah, player two.
okay.
So now, run tests.
So
And now we go for point for player two. And we should be able
Can
to.
we rename point for player 1 to the one with the digits?
Yeah, just.
Instead of one,
Point for player one, the last method.
instead of the one,
Yeah,
put
a
at the
digit.
one.
You need to refactor. Do the
Refactor
refactoring
in
on the method.
Yeah.
Right click. On the method side.
On the method. Refactor method.
Rename method.
method.
No, rename method.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a
Yes,
C2,
I don't know
so it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's it.
And I see that we have a score 1 point. We want that in the same style too, I guess.
And now we want to do point for player two. Check if that's. Oh,
Then
oh, you mean score 1 point? Oh, you already refactored that. Okay.
Stylistic.
So I think now we have clean code. Yeah.
Actually, before that, we should write a lean rule for
Yes.
our code.
Yeah, I think
We change all
score.
the tests to
No, but now
We should,
the methods to point and to know the score in the tennis go from the play.
actually, we should put back the method.
Yeah.
Yes, and we
Let's
should
break the law of Demeter.
Yes.
Yeah.
and we should
They-
try
they
removing the code that is not used anymore.
Instance variable, player 1 score, player 2 score.
They want to a player. There's a method called
We should try to
score
see if
1
that
point.
doesn't break anything. That's
I
actually
think the one can be eliminated. Yeah, not like this. Always use rename. Yeah, score point.
You gotta
Yeah,
you
but
gotta
always
rename, you have to rename.
use refactor rename, otherwise you
Oh,
will
yeah.
break code.
Yeah, yeah.
Though with rename you can break much more code.
Okay, so I think we're now done
There is no
refactoring.
end for this.
So we want more functionality.
So save the image.
Yes.
Those. Yes.
Advantage. Okay.
But
so
that's a step further. We should go for a deuce first. Or not?
Yes, it's good.
I suggest
because
we have
it's 40,
we
40.
don't have clean code at the moment, so we should clean up code.
Yes.
Refactor.
Yeah, that's.
But I think the code is clean. Where do
No,
you
there's
have?
duplication in the calculations.
Yes.
In tennis.
Tennis is calculating twice.
Yeah.
Take a look
Point
at
for
player one
player
score.
one, point for
Oh, we
player
still
two.
have the.
I know.
No, it doesn't.
Perfect.
No. And what's player 2 score then?
Is the accessor? Ah, okay.
Accessor?
It's all delegated.
But we
Okay,
still
so
have
we
still
move
have
on.
the instance variables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have extra instance variables to remove.
Yeah, then we move them on the test.
When they initialize, there should
Now
be
we
set
can
up.
remove the initializer.
Yeah.
Just remove the whole.
I just remove the entire initializer.
Command X.
The method.
Excellent.
Remove it. And remove the instance variables.
No, first run the test.
Let's
Oh
repeat.
yeah, okay. Of course not a player 1 and player 2, but the scores.
Do we need the accessors, player 1 and player 2?
Yeah, we need players.
Do we?
No, do we
We
need
need
the
the
accessors?
Do we need to access them?
Yes,
the one
because
we are
they
going to use
they create them lazy.
Show the
Ah,
senders.
yeah.
Well then, refactor.
Yeah.
Show the senders.
So we need an initializer.
This doesn't need it.
Yeah, but it needs us
So we can refactor the tests. But change.
Actually,
Yeah.
we still need player 1 and some point.
at some point. So it's
not
fine.
No, not this point, yes.
So
Does it worth it to
okay.
remove it?
So,
we stop, and what we'll do is what you can do is a retrospective in an agile way. So I don't know if in French it's called bâton de parole. So we make a stick, go from person per person, and only the one that has a stick can speak. If he don't know what to don't want to speak or nothing to say, he just gives the stick to the other guy, and when the stick I made one round and nobody speak, we end.
okay, I have something to say. I've done similar tests before, counts before, and we mostly started creating a test case, domain class much later. Just started by having methods on the test case and only introducing a class when we thought that we had a real nice abstraction which we needed.
That was good.
And that worked pretty well.
I usually don't introduce accessors unless I need them from the outset.
I didn't like in the process the that thing that okay, yes, we forced the test to be green, introducing code that actually we know that isn't correct. If, but maybe in the example it was not clear. Maybe in a real example you can say yes, return false in this testing method is okay, but I don't know. In the first we started to put that the score of a player was 0, but we knew that actually that wasn't going to work in the future. So probably we started from in the wrong place to code, or we wrote we didn't write the right test, or I don't know. But I didn't like to put the return 0 in there when that actually wasn't right.
No,
but
From the domain
the
point
goal
of view.
was not to make the goal of the first test
Yes.
is not to make things worse. The goal is to define an thing,
No, but
and that's really important.
But I think that part of the of the lesson there is that usually it isn't right. It isn't right now because we didn't do use. So returning 0 is an essential step in the sense that you shouldn't complicate yourself.
The smallest
Maybe that's also an indication that we started writing the wrong test. Maybe we should have started from something more simpler. I don't know.
Yes, it was the
But,
right test because at the beginning you have a score of 0.
It's correct value, but it's partial. You don't provide the set of all valid values, you provide only one.
At least the solution is just do it with some workers again and again, and when you do it 3-4 times,
Yes.
you have your time.
We started to adapt the code at another class, keeping all the other tests green. It's not straightforward at all, even in this small example. If you have a bigger one, it can be even a bigger one.
So I think I did your the exercise you are talking about of only developing in one test case, and you can only create a method if you by extracting it from the test case, and you can only create a class by extracting methods from the test case class, and so on. That's quite
Challenging.
extremist, but the guy who did the code with it said, well, if you are a consultant and you go to work on a big system and you don't want to break the big system, then you do that and you're reasonably sure that you do it in the safe. And for issue, actually, the code now, it's not correct. So we have just been writing incorrect code, just
And
making
it
it
is
less and less
correct.
incorrect. So.
It's covered by our tests, and what our tests cover is correct.
Yeah,
So
but
it forces you
uh,
to
maybe,
write another test.
maybe if we should have introduced, for example, the instance variable score of player 1 first, returning 0 with initializing it. To me, it was it was a bit more flexible.
We just have to make it again, and
Yeah.
we see over problems.
Okay, so I tried myself this kind of tests where each test case inherits the other, and each test case should define a context, some test. So it works well with small example, but as soon as you want to test complex programs, the number of test cases quickly explode. And if I wanted to have a good test coverage for this application, I needed something like 100 test case. So finally, I rolled back to more classical test classes.
Why 100 test cases is a problem?
No, I guess
Because each one has just two asserts, two methods with each one assert.
Yes.
So for me it was hard to browse and to find back where my tests were, and in the end it was just a pain. Whereas I don't bother to write just two asserts in the same method. As soon as it's written, you can read it. So of course the error message won't be as explicit as the test that has a good name failed, but I think it's a matter of taste maybe.
What we did not cover here is making sure that we don't have duplication in the test cases. and reduce that as much as possible. Because you are going to have about as much test code as real code,
Yes.
if you are doing it correctly. That's about as much as should be, if you have it well designed.
Yeah, but this time there was no clear mapping between what you test, because that's scenario-based testing, so that's high-level test. For doing small unit test case in some application, it's hard to have a scenario. It just doesn't fit the application. So it works in most cases, but not all. From what I see.
Continue.
I liked seeing this. I mean, I had fun.
Yeah.
And I've never tried on really big applications. I've done test first several times. But it was never really big, like huge, so I don't know about how it would turn out, but it works so far, so
The point is that you will have to test your application anyway.
yeah, right.
So write
So
the test.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I haven't not much to say, but I agree with Camille. I would prefer like one or two test cases. I like when I read a test, I think in a context. So why should we have like two test methods to know if the score of one player and the other and another test method for the other, because the context is
There is duplication, so that should be removed in some way.
okay.
Yeah, maybe that
Yeah,
also
it's
it's also a problem of the tool.
For perfection, yeah.
So
I think one thing that I've been, when I was in Ruby, I did a lot of behavioral driven design. And one thing that I think is cool is that, like, the way that works is you have acceptance tests. So you write an acceptance test, which you could kind of consider our tennis test kind of acceptance test, right? But because you consider it as a separate loop, you can write an acceptance test that fails, and then have that be to drop down into the unit test. So it's okay that that's failing, you can still have a unit test. So then we could have started doing like player tests and just focused on there, because it got a little confusing for me to, I felt like we were kind of working on both classes at the same time, on player and tennis. And I started to get confused, like what was where, it just started confusing. So I like that we could have had this tennis test be considered an acceptance test, have one of them fail, then said, okay, good. Drop down into a unit test, and then worked on player. So I feel like for me, that gives me a little more flexibility. But yeah, it was interesting to see, like, I was getting all like invested in, you know, the ridiculous example, you know, I was like, I wanted it to be good, and, you know, all that, so, it was fun.
Not much to say, and I'm used to TDD, and also I did a lot without test because, you know, I like to write stuff and a lot of people. So I think it's a good exercise in a way. And I mean, each time I do such exercise, I say, okay, next week I start to do TDD again, and like 1 month after that I stop because. But yeah, it's a good reminder that I should pay more attention. And I think it's I don't know. It's strange. I did this kind of exercise in Python at university, and it's strange to see how in Smalltalk we consider unit tests, even if like okay, it's language which created them years ago, but then we kind of get stuck with this idea like how tests were like 25 years ago, and another language maybe kind of new vision of that and can upgrade them a bit better. So it's true that in Smalltalk usually like I have my, I don't know, tennis and like tennis test and then like some strength test there, and another language is more like that, like I have one class for one scenario. It's like, instead of, I don't know, it's like more scenario oriented or more, it's a bit different. I think both approaches have
much change and how can we like take benefit from what the other are doing. So that's
Anyone? What I like about the test, I don't like the. I was coding like this years ago. You know, one class and for example you are blah 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 class and blah blah test, and then but for me that does not scale. When you work on an application that has 1,000 test classes and you have a bug, the customer show you a bug, you have to, where do you have to write the test that reproduce the bug, and the customer will say, okay, I do that, I do that, I do that, and that's a context, that's a setup. If the customer will say, if I do that, then I have that, and there's a problem. So that's the context, and I want to search for the class that match this context, or if it does not exist, create it. And so if you are in this context, what can you say? And maybe at the beginning we have one or two test methods, but I don't think that's a problem. But maybe in 1 year, maybe we go from 2 to 10, 20, and you write thousands of tests because the application grows, and I think that's not the problem. And what I like about this set is that if you do the same 3 or 4 times at this Kata, you can try different approach, because you can say, oh, maybe I should do like that, or maybe I should do like that. I think better that. So just not have to talk little and to argue, just try. And in fact, you see new problems, because it will be easy in a way, but you see new problems appear. So you have to find how to go smoothly. You know, when you write some code, all test steps go back, like a Mikado, you know, it goes up, let's say, let's try another move. And it gives you a lot of tools and ways of doing things, and after when you work, you recognize some patterns, and you can just go faster.
What I can't say much about the process because it came in late, but when I look at the test, one thing is that I see is that you test a lot about the score of a certain player, while you actually are testing the tennis match. So I would expect that you say, okay, well, in the beginning I expect a score of 0-0. And not of a score of player 1 is 0, but the score of the tennis match is 0-0.
Okay.
And then maybe the test will automatically become nicer.
Yes, I think so.
In the past, I was doing a lot of unit tests in the sense of one test case per class, and I end up when I do a refactoring, or sometimes I throw away a class, I end up with tests that are broken or useless, and I end up throwing a lot of tests. So I was tending towards this way of coding, and discussed with Laurent and others.
And this is more testing the interaction between classes, and that fits better with the
more independent from what's going on. And also, I read somewhere that if you have more than 40% of your time, you are writing tests more than 40% of your time, there is something wrong.
Right.
Because you are over testing your stuff.
don't do that so.
Anyone else?
Just
The rule is like that.
I was quite agree with Sean. I think, yeah, it's more at the level of acceptance test, this scenario based. So for debugging, when effectively you have a client saying that I did that, and that doesn't work, so there you can make another acceptance test, but they will still use for unit tests, in my opinion. So then unit tests should be maybe divided between the black box test and the white box test. You know that when you do refactoring, white box tests are most likely to fail, and you most likely have to kill them. But that's normal. You're actually changing the implementation. That's normal that they fail. You should rewrite when you set up white box test. But when black box test fails, that something is wrong. Okay, that's a way to divide things.
Why? It's a picture of Esteban like behind your inclusion. Right, what the heck?
Thank you very much.
Are you secreting now? Thank you.
This camera is still on? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Should be.
Is it recording?
Yes.
We should stop it.
Yeah.